Hello, my name is Dewi Afiati and I will read my abstract with the structure and the reason I took this title in my abstract. The title is The Influence of Motivation and Learning Methods on English Learning Activities in High School. And the abstract is English is one of the mandatory subjects that students must study at school. One of the factors that can influence success in learning is student motivation, especially intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation. Varied teaching methods can have an influence on learning, especially on increasing student motivation to learn. In this case, student learning motivation will arise if it is accompanied by the use of varied teaching methods. The aim of this research is to determine the intrinsic and extrinsic motivation of high school students in learning English. This research uses a quantitative approach with a sample size of 30 students. A questionnaire with 10 items for intrinsic and extrinsic motivation was used in the data collection process. Extrinsic motivation, which had a score of 3.4, was the most common motivator for students to learn English, according to research findings. On a 4-point scale, intrinsic motivation is lower at 2.9. Therefore, it can be said that friends and the surrounding environment, not the student themselves, and the source of student motivation to learn English. Therefore, educators must inspire students more so that their desire to learn English comes from within them. Learning methods influence English language learning in high school. So, teachers need to provide more motivation students' desire to learn English arises from in themselves. So, they will be more enthusiastic and active to achieve success in learning English. However, there are obstacles and challenges during implementation are still felt. So, teachers must have various types of alternative for implementing learning. And the keyword is English, learning motivation, teaching methods, intrinsic factors, and extrinsic factors. And the structure is the first focus. The focus is English is one of mandatory subjects that students must study at school. And the disturbance is factors that can influence success in learning is student motivation, especially intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation. Various teaching methods can have an influence on learning, especially on increasing student motivation to learn. And the development is, in this case, student learning motivation will arise if it is accompanied by the use of various teaching methods. And the dialogue is, it can be said that friends and the surrounding environment, not the student themselves, are the source of student motivation to learn English. Therefore, educators must inspire students more so that their desire to learn English comes from within them. And in my opinion, resolution with the moral is teachers need to provide more motivation students' desire to learn English arises from in themselves. They will be more enthusiastic and active to achieve success in learning English. And the teacher must have various types of alternative for implementing learning. And why I choose this title? Because in my opinion, high school students are no longer too enthusiastic about learning language, especially English language. My aim in choosing this title is also to find out what motivation and learning methods students want in learning this language, especially English language. That's enough from me, and thank you.